welcome back to the Single Malt Review for day 4 of our Secret Spirits Whisky Advent Calendar. It is Tim's turn to don the hat of mystery.
Yes, indeed.
And try to guess.
I feel I'm probably in for it now. I've had a fairly guessable Speyside thus far, and Dave's had 2 horrible curveballs, so I feel my karma is about to come up, but we'll see what we get.
Okay.
Right.
Tim is suitably blindfolded.
So Dave is going to remove the whiskey, which is a fairly strenuous exercise, and then he will. It will be revealed only to him, not to myself, and not to you people at home. Not until the 2-hour power taste.
2 minute.
Well, yeah, that would be 2 hours is how long we should probably be spending if we were doing this for real. But who has that kind of time? So we're going to condense it into 2 minutes. What could possibly go wrong? How's that coming away?
Working. Try not to destroy the box in the
Yes,
process.
that's the key.
Or reveal any other days in passing. There's something almost biological about the way these just extract themselves from this.
There's something a little veterinarian about it.
There we go.
All right, the whiskey's free. So Dave will pour the whiskey, and then it will go under the tankard of obfuscation.
Yes.
Bit of side trivia here, if anyone's thinking that's a peculiar looking leather tankard, that is a recreation of a Viking leather tankard from the Jorvik excavation outside York. I'm not sure if they still sell them, but they may. That one is particularly old and particularly battered. We shouldn't ever try to put water in it or we'll get a bad surprise. The brewer's pitch they used to seal it is very, very old and very cracked these days.
Wasn't beeswax or something else similarly suitable for a palate?
Brewer's pitch, that's a, how do you make that? Pine resin is involved. Pine resin and beeswax, I think.
There you go, got that one?
There we are.
Cool.
Alright. Please begin my timer.
Oh yes. 2 minutes starting from now.
Alright then. Okay. That's a fairly gentle flavour. Goodness, that's very... What's going on here?
Wow, that is something I've never smelled before.
The hell am I smelling?
There are completely new notes there. I'd have to invent words for some of what I'm smelling.
My first thought was this is a really low strength whiskey, like 40%, but as I get further into it, as it kind of warms up in my hand, I don't think that's right. I think that's starting to heat up a little. Here we go.
Crikey, it smells like it tastes. Oh, the other way around even. I want to say what impressions I'm getting, but I don't want to steer you as well by doing so.
Well, I'll go first then.
Yeah.
This tastes like grain whiskey.
Okay.
It smells very, very gentle, and I still don't think this is super old. And pulling the gun on grain whiskey is always going to be a little bit fraught. Oh, do I really want to do that? Because there's elements in here, there's weird elements in here which I do not recognise, which is what makes me think it's something kind of aberrant. Okay, it's...
You have 30 seconds.
I'm saying it's not a grain, I'm going to say it's a blend. It's definitely not cask strength, which is that's my main reason for calling this a blend. But it's not a blend that I'm familiar with whatsoever, assuming it is.
10 seconds.
Alright, I'm ready. It's a blend, and that means I've got no region to pick, so we'll say the blend's either worth 2 or nothing, double or nothing for the blend picks here. So in for a penny, in for a pound. As to what blend it is, I haven't a single clue. It's something... It's an older blend than not. But as for whose or what's blend, I'll save face by saying I don't think this is any sort of Johnny Walker, I don't think there's any sort of Shivers, I don't think there's any sort of off-the-shelf kind of a thing. But I'm pretty sure it's... No, I have to leave that one blank. I could make guesses all day for blends, but I have truly no idea. So I'm just in for double or nothing here for the 2 points or zip. It's blended whiskey. The rest is a big old shrug.
Wow. Okay.
How did I do?
Let's have a look. If you want to lift the tank out and
yes,
see for
yes.
yourself what you're trying, it is a complete surprise and mystery to me.
Oh, I was so close. It's blended malt. So that's a big old zip for me. There is no grain whiskey in here whatsoever, and it's Burnside 7-year-old. That's certainly not one we have, and a very, very curious strength of 46.1. Though I can tell you from the label that it's probably quite a good blend. Well, it is a good blend because I just tasted it and it's very good. But it's a very honest blend because it says 7 years old, which is a pretty daring age statement. That's when you've got whiskey younger than 10. That's when the sort of the ripcord is usually pulled. And a lot of producers will flake out at that point and make it a no-age statement because they think putting these low ages on them is unfashionable, which to true whiskey drinkers, proper whiskey drinkers, it's not. Yeah. It's just as much a quality statement as anything else.
So it's odd that we have a blended malt here, but also we have not only a region, being Speyside, but also the cask type, it's sherry. So, but to say here it's a teaspooned blend. What does that mean?
Could be. Well, teaspoon, that's when you want to bottle something, but the owner of the sort of the trademark or the brand, the distillery, they own their name and they don't want other people to use it, and they don't want other people to bottle it.
So it's something famous with it's a very strong brand, but it's had something else added to make it not that. So it's a blend.
Sometimes this happens, and what to do? Whoops! I've accidentally spilt a teaspoon of something else into this massive cask or massive vat of whiskey. It doesn't matter. It can be a bit homeopathic that way.
So what we have here is suddenly, a borderline single malt that's been slightly adulterated in order to call it a blend. Because the overwhelming character I got of this is just me, was oranges. It's fresh orange fruit, orange peel, candied orange peel. It is just all oranges all the way down. Yeah. And that's what was threw me off.
Burnside, we'll have to have a wee look at Burnside, because that may give us some enlightenment as to where it was. Often there'll be the sneaky trick will be name your teaspooned blend that's actually a single malt. Something like the region in which the whiskey is produced. There was a famous one of, and now that I think about it, I'm wondering here, but Glenmorangie is one like that. You'll never see an independently bottled Glenmorangie because they don't like people using the name, and they don't like people bottling it independently either. So you'll see teaspooned ones out there, and this
possibly what we're dealing with.
It's not unlike Glenmorangie, but no. So I don't know. You run down the tasting notes while I have a quick tap on the tablet here to see what
first and
Burnside
foremost, it's literally sherry cask. This is a 2011 distillation, so I'm assuming it means it's mostly this 7-year-old spirit with only a little something extra added just to, as I say, make it a blend. Because when I saw that 46.1%, I initially assumed that there was a lot of very old whiskey in there and that it was cask strength. That almost certainly isn't the case. So it's curious how they came to that number. The nose is very orangey. It's a rich, dark citrus. It's juicy. There's a lot of a sherry character to it, but it's my mind just goes circles around back to oranges every time, and it tastes exactly as it smells.
Oranges is a good bet. Candied orange peel, particularly. Completely, it's very. It's certainly a sherry.
It's like you in 5+ a day. You could
whiskey, unmistakably sherried.
Scurvy with a dram of this. What is the internet telling you?
Did it give us a region?
Yes, it is indeed Speyside.
Speyside. Interesting. Yeah. It seems Burnside is a name used in a distillery, but it is cropping up, now that I look for it, absolutely everywhere. Wow. So this is not the first one to use it, and I've seen it here quoted as Highlands as well as Speyside. So there's a bit of confusion involved there. I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of this
classic overlap
this time. So yes, we'll I might put in the comments exactly what Burnside is, if it's even a thing. It may just be some term, pretty Scottish sounding name. But in terms of the whiskey, for 7 years old, although that's 7 years minimum, this is a blended malt, there could be older stuff in here, and I think there might be
I think whatever is older
wee
though
bit.
has been teaspooned in though, because
Yeah.
they give a clear distilled 2011 date on the bottle. So it's like it is a blended malt in the most technical, strictly pedantic sense of the word, I believe.
absolutely. In fact, there's some small print on here, which we've missed from the start. Teaspooned cask.
No, I saw.
Oh, right,
I
right.
That's
Got
why
it.
I mentioned
Okay.
teaspoon.
Oh no, I thought
Yeah.
that was just an
No,
astute,
that was-
astute observation.
No.
So it tells us.
That's
it's
me literally
teaspooned
reading
cask.
what it said in front of me. No, astute
Right.
observations here.
Hmm.
I didn't get to where I am today by making astute observations.
That's not what we're about here. Blind tasting in the very literal sense. Well, that's a total capitulation for points for me, but
Another
very,
complete surprise
very
and a
interesting
whiskey
whiskey, yeah.
education from this calendar. It's in a more or less literal sense, a gift that is just continuing to give
and
day by day.
What it is a bloody good whiskey for 7 years old.
Yes.
That is extremely, extremely mature characteristics.
Yeah.
This is probably I'm not sure if it says if that's cask type sherry, so it doesn't say what the fill was, but I think that's if not first, then a pretty lightly used second fill Oloroso there, because that's bursting with flavour, and it's so smooth as well for
I would
7 years
expect
old.
more of a cinnamon, more spicy character of Oloroso sherry, but then I'm not exactly a connoisseur. So
You know-
that's just me speculating.
Tasting this, it's almost too sherry to be Glenmorangie. I think there's a chance in my mind that this is actually from Glendronach.
Really, I
There's a-
would have picked a Glendronach's unique Oloroso PX
That's-
characters.
That's just a flag that pops up. I don't know. We'll have to go do a deeper dive on this one and see if we can figure out exactly what we're tasting here. And I will update in the comments.
Veering towards Glenmorangie. but-
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see. See
I'm
if
wrong.
either I will update in the comments. All right, going long already. Catch you next
See you
time
again
for day
tomorrow.
5.